The deceased reached out for a cable and tried to strangle him. Tied the cable around the neck as he was still ranting on why his friend wanted to leave him in this house.
He still ranted about why I'm to shift from this house and go live with my wife and kid and leave him alone. So he continued strangling, and I took it as a joke. I felt like he was just doing it for some time, then he could stop, but he didn't. That is when I reached out, since I was struggling to breathe. I reached out for the cable and tried to secure my breath. I reached out with my left hand. I tried, it couldn't break. Then I reached out with my right hand. I tried, then it taut. The cable taut. That is when he came closer to me, and I applied my right hand to close his face and mouth. That is when for like 3 to 4 minutes, while I was pressing my hand against his nose and mouth, that is when he lost consciousness, and that is when he started conversing and shaking. I stood up to reach for breath, since I was still coming from the choking. I stood from somewhere here. I stood, I breathed a little bit. I thought he was pretending to shake because he is used to dramatizing after we have an argument or something. Or he shook and lay down to rest. I assumed he was tired or something, or he was just acting up from the alcohol, and then he'd wake up later. I covered him with a duvet and went back to sleep in the mattress. That is when I woke up at around 8 in the morning, 8 a.m., around 8:30 p.m. I woke up, I tried to wake him up, but he didn't wake up, so I assumed he's still pretending. I walked out and went to Patricia's place. After coming out of the Patricia's place, I asked them if they found my phone, because I lost my phone the previous night. They told me they didn't see it. I came back thinking that he had woken up. I tried to shake him, checked his pulse, and that is when it hit me that he's dead.
Odhiambo then left the house to go look for his phone, only to come back and realize his friend and roommate was still in the same position he left him.
I just realized that, it's past 40 to 1 hour. He's not waking up and he's still in the same position I left him when I went to Patricia's place. So I reached out for his phone and went out. I thought for a minute. I came back. That's when I used his fingerprint to open the mobile phone and tried to Google what to do next, because I didn't know what to do. I just searched what to do when someone dies accidentally in your house. I searched on Google and it brought me results from different states and how the acts of law will fall against me. None of them made me feel like I should go and report, because the scene of the crime is all on me and I would be the main suspect and it would be considered as murder. So I didn't know what to do. I came back, I changed, and I went to my home place.
Odhiambo says after realizing his friend was still in the same position, he decided to leave.
After I left on the first morning, I left and I went to my parents' house. I stayed there the whole day. I slept, I changed, and then I came back to town. I didn't want any company that day because I was still traumatized on the acts of the previous day. I went to a certain club called The Back. That is where I spent half of my night. I drank, and then a couple of friends came by. We drove off and I booked a house at Langas. That is where I spent the entire first night.
It is this time that Odhiambo started cooking a cover-up story.
So I started thinking of a way of coming up with a story to cover up all of the acts that happened. So that is when I started looking for my alibis and people who would just be there to tell the story.